Move constructor, destructor, and default constructor. Tracked object, yeah. Is locked A. ObjectTracker. A tracker is called from tracker is passed from what? This needs object tracker. Yes, I got it. Okay. Okay, for declared logged A, for declared A, and then with both an incomplete logged A and A, I can now define the tracker. Passing an incomplete A as and an incomplete A tracker. Sorry, that's the thing itself. It is incomplete at this point. And an incomplete logged A. And then the A tracker is complete, and then we define a logged A with still an incomplete A, which is then being passed to this, plus a complete A tracker. Hey, Andre. Struct A. Struct A, struct A, struct A. Yep, maybe I should always do it in this order. So I made changes to make that compile. And therefore we have to check this one again. This is doing it in a different order. Like here I'm defining still logged A first, forward declared. Compare that to this one. Here, both cases both cases forward declare logged A. But then here I make a tracker first, while in this case I define A first. But that is only really possible because this is using A instead of A being derived from that. That makes a difference apparently. So I think I want to state that the tracker must be defined first to keep it consistent. So let's try that. But that means that A also must be forward declared, and then we're going to pass it here as an incomplete type. And I can't forward declare it because it's using. It's ridiculous. But yeah, you have to do it the other way around, right? If A is a type def, I'll call it a type def. And then you can't forward declare it. It's just how it is. Let me add that to the comments of ObjectTracker. ObjectTracker allows objects to have a non-moving tracker object allocated on the heap that manages a pointer that points back to them, all while being thread safe. This allows other objects to point to the tracker object without having to worry if the tracked object is moved in memory. Okay, that's very general. Usage: forward declare the object that should be tracked and protected against concurrent access. So that is the locked thing. And then it depends. If node is using, you have to continue with that. Okay, so if node is a type def, then it has to be defined next. Define the unlocked version using the desired locking policy. So 1. One, if node is a type def, then it has to be defined next. Let's make this 80 long or something. Then define corresponding tracking class, either also as a type def or derived from ObjectTracker. Thanos codes, yes, yeah, I only code in C++, yeah. I'm trying to write my documentation for this very difficult library. It's hard to use, unfortunately, so it must be documented well. Okay, again, note if you run into the compile error incomplete locked node during the instantiation of the destructor of this node tracker. This node tracker class, then move its constructors and destructor out of the header. So that belongs to that definition. Maybe I want to move that up here. I think I'm going to go to 2. If node is not a type def, but derived from unlocked tracked objects, then first define node tracker. Either also as a type def. No, it's not also anymore. It's not a type def. Either as a type def so using node tracker is that one. Dave, yeah. Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. I just make progress every time, right? Yeah, sometimes it doesn't look like it, but progress is being made. Finally defined the locked type. A type that can only be accessed through an access object like let's see if my main is still correct. Now I can construct a node object and obtain the tracker at any moment, also after it was moved. And then even if node is moved, node tracker will point to node 2 in this case. Well, I'll point to the it point to the correct, I guess, instance. In this case. So this is an access type for read access, and we get it through the node tracker by calling track red, which returns a red on the object tracker type, which is the base class or the type def of the tracker. Yeah, for example, here it is the base class, and here it's just the type def. So in both cases we can use node tracker. The to be tracked object must be derived from tracked object. Okay, passing both the unlock type as well as the tracker class. Now I kind of updated now the documentation of yeah, the old documentation, I would say, but I changed a lot more actually. This is more the order, so I really have to compare this with how it is currently. Let's save this, and then let's compare it again. So what you really need is we start with for declaration of the locked type. That's what we did, right? In the documentation, that is. How can I set a marker here so that I can easily jump back? I've always forget that M1 is a marker, I think. And then you jump back with like that. So yes, then we get the unlocked version, which is unlocked tracked object. Locked a policy. That thing really has only 2 template arguments. Yep. totally. And this one only has one? Really? There's only one here. That is the A is then being used here. So that's the A is the locked version basically. And that didn't work. Control T, I want to jump to 1. That's better. Yep. Actually, it looks good. I mean, I changed some template to now take 4 template arguments, but apparently that's not part of the user interface. Or maybe this one. We are not done yet, right? Kind of confused here. Really thought. Why is my Control T not working? Tracked object also only takes 2 arguments. There would be node and node tracker here. That's what I mean. I think I didn't compile it yet, because ObjectTracker takes 4 arguments. I have only 1 here. What? Threadsafe. Yeah, takes 4 arguments. Totally doing that wrong here. Let's first try to compile this. Nope. 8 trackers unknown. So now, oh, what the hell? Oh, you cannot pass a tracker if the tracker is a type def. You gotta be kidding me. Of course, yeah, you cannot do this. The reason I wanted to pass a tracker type is, well, not doing anything with it, but we might be doing something with that. The tracker type is being passed to a batch. Who the F cares? Is that everything? I think the batch has to go because Yeah, like every type is incomplete. So I can not get a tracker type and cannot even pass it. Because it will indicate that it is a using thing. I guess I'm totally happy with doing this. Type name, tracker type. Because the batch just to make sure that nobody else is calling this except tracked object, and then it's out of the control of the user. It only tracked object can call this function, and it doesn't really matter what this is, of course. Independent of the template arguments, it's just going to be tracked object that is calling this. So then we don't have tracker type anymore. And therefore we don't need tracker type to be passed to ObjectTracker. So this can be removed. And I can also remove it in that other case. Tracker. Tracker, a tracker. Here we can pass it as an incomplete type, but well, it doesn't matter. Let's not pass it. Which means that it has to be removed here. Try to compile it now. Too few template arguments in template redeclaration. Here we still have a tracker type. That has to be removed everywhere now. Tracker type, this is just a forward declaration of object tracker. Oh, well. And another one. That's a friend definition of object tracker. No matching member function will call to set tracked unlocked. Well, because now it's a template, it cannot guess what the type is here. So you have to explicitly pass it. Utils batch. The current object. Can we just do it like that? Yes. So now the first thing compiles again, and then we go back to the second test. And that still compiles. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Let's put a minus sign here so we can see what that was. Okay, so now I am testing typedef in this order and also in the other order. No, I was updating my documentation. Let's do that again. So the tracker gets three template arguments. A locked A and the policy mutex. How the hell can I say that and then jump here and immediately have forgotten what it was? Object tracker. Yeah, I should object tracker. The tracker, hello. A tracker is, so node tracker is derived from object tracker. And it has node, locked node, policy something. Finally, define the lock type. The type that can only be accessed through an access object like node tracker read or node tracker what. The to be tracked object must be derived from tracked objects, passing both the unlocked type as well as the tracker clause. Looks good, looks good. Good, I think the documentation has been updated now. So here I am doing a test where we create an A, which is an unlocked tracked object, and well as a type def, defined as a type def. I guess that I have a fourfold case actually, because even though I end up like this, either this is a type def or it isn't, and this is a type def or it isn't, and then I might as well combine instantiating all the different types, right? So the A is here just tested, so we can actually create that thing. And then the next one tests that we can create locked A. I have to say though that here there's a big difference. This one, this include is an inline include is done just in front of main. I suppose it makes sense, right? Because all of this stuff is kind of header stuff. So maybe I should do that as well here. Well, I could do it here, but it makes more sense to delay that include. And then that should still work. Right. And then what I really want to test, I think, is so one of four things. Maybe I should just do define a I'm not sure I want to work with a. Let's call it unlocked. Unlocked type, so that's a, is type def. Just define it as a 0 or 1. And then the same thing for the tracker. Tracker is type def. And then I can delete this and move that into main. Because A is the unlocked tracked object. The for declare must always happen first. And then, yeah, then we want to do, now I've got it again. Let's look at the documentation I just wrote. So if node, that is the unlocked type, is a type def, then it has to be defined next. So here we have if unlocked type is a type def, then it must be defined first. And I think then we can do tracker types type def, that will be this one. Or it's not a type def, and then we would have what I did here, I think. A tracker is defined like this. So now a tracker has been defined, and then we do if not is a type def, then we still have to define a itself, which can be defined like this then, for example. Hopefully I did that correctly. This remark belongs to no tracker class. Yeah. And then we can just do both, right? Why not in the main? And in both cases we have the inline include right before main. And here I see I have a test with starts with locked A and A being for declared. That still needs to be done, I think. Yeah, so we have locked A for declared and possibly locked, sorry, as, I'll call it the clause. Possibly A for declared. Something has been done wrong in test.cxx because did he compile before? No, it doesn't. Static assertion failed due requirement is complete locked A. The first template parameter of unlocked tracked object must already be complete, but isn't. In instantiation here. So at this point, locked A is not complete, and it must be. Oops. Let's try moving it below locked A then. The redefinition of A with a different area. Well, that's pretty encouraging. Let's call this locked A. vi test.cxx. And then I have to do this 4 times. That works. And then we are creating an unlocked tracked object and a tracked object, and finally I want to create an object tracker, although I probably already do that. It's a tracker itself. Yeah, I don't think I make a tracker yet, so I should make a tracker. But yeah, and then the tracker is just constructed automatically at the moment you create an A here. This also tests making the tracker. So I think it works. Let me read the chat. Yeah, Dave said, I was wondering if you returned an object by value by mistake that acquired a lock in the constructor. That would be a tricky one. Well, it had to be by value, because what I return is an access object, and you need that object to be alive because you have the lock while it is alive. I cannot return a reference because I want it to be a scoped object. So we would say if it already exists and I return a reference, then I have access, but going out of scope then doesn't destroy the object. So I return it on purpose by value, and that's correct. And then if then the caller goes out of scope, then that returned object is destroyed, and unlocking the unlocking the mutex again. Thanks, Dave, for saying that you love my work. Standard Onion mumbles unrelated stuff about Arch. Arch is very hard to install, but after you install it, it's a nice operating system. Good. I think I made progress, but of course it's not going to compile if I type make, friends. I mean, no, definitely not. Error, use of undeclared identifier node tracker. So I probably... I'm not following my own recipe now. Yeah, we don't have a node tracker here. Let's compare test.cxx with this node.h. So here it's called A, and then there it's called a node. Now we forward declare a locked node. That's correct. And then node is either a class or a type def. Well, which is it? Node is a type def. So that would be this one, and that's then what we have to do next. Being an unlocked tracked object. And with template parameters locked and the locking policy. So that's correct. And then it depends on if the tracker is a type def or not, or well, not really. You just define it. So that would be here. I need to define node tracker here. And after we did that, tracker is defined, and can define the locked node as a tracked object of node and node tracker. That's correct then here. And finally, node is not necessary, right? Because we have here node as a type def. So the only thing that's missing is a node tracker must be defined right there, and it isn't. Currently defining node tracker in its own header, I'm afraid. Here it is defined. That's example code. There is no tracker defined. Here it is defined, yeah. 1, 2, and then we jump to example code. Yep. So this is the one. No tracker. And it's just in its own header. Maybe it shouldn't be. Probably should not be. So no tracker must be derived from. Let me just look for a tracker, which is the documentation. Must be derived from unlocked tracked object. No, sorry. That's a. A tracker must be derived from ObjectTracker with 3 arguments. And it is derived from item tracker, which is derived from ObjectTracker and not being passed 3 arguments. Plus it tests if tracked as a specialization of, which is nonsense. It must be at the very least is derived from specialization of. Now we can only test that if tracked is already complete. So is tracked complete at this point? That is node. Is node complete at the moment we do this tracker? Well, we are going to include it here. And yes, node is complete because unlocked tracked object is complete. No, it's not. I mean, locked node is incomplete and unlocked tracked objects. Is derived from unlocked first argument template, which is derived from that first argument template. So it must be complete. So node is not complete at this point because, well, lock node is not complete. Confusing. I'm hesitating to move the definition of node tracker to this place, even though that's what I just wrote in the documentation and tested. Is that going to work? I thought I'd change the tracker to be able to get past only incomplete types. So the item tracker is object tracker. I think, well, at least the first two can be incomplete now. That was not the case before. So maybe my static cast is wrong. Static assert, I mean, that I added to. I don't know, man. Let me just move it. I think it should work right. We have already included this. That should not be a problem. ObjectTracker.h included, and then where is this defined? Unlock tracked objects. It's defined in unlock tracked objects. Pretty sure object tracker is not including that already. Nope. Neither is this including object tracker. Nope. Object tracker takes 3 things. Just going to copy them all. So I can't do this derived from because track type is incomplete. Can't do that anymore. And then what's the use of item tracker to begin with? Maybe should get rid of the whole item tracker. And this is just a stupid proxy now. Yeah, makes a little sense. And instead of item tracker, probably should be using something else. Tracker.cxx, what the hell is that? Yeah, that's empty. It's also telling a lot. I'm gonna get rid of it. It's not called by item tracker. What are you talking about? It's called by graph. Graph. Well, maybe class, but yeah, apparently. I don't know about that comment. Let's try this again. Eradicate. Work in progress. I probably should remember what it is or not. Nah, changed anyway. So graph tracker, node tracker. Let's do node tracker first. Copy from a tracker. Must be derived from that. Passing node instead of a. And we have to pass log node here. And we have to pass the locking policy. Locking policy. Nobody knows what that is. Let's figure out what the policy is. Policy. Item logging policy. I think so. Dot item logging policy. Defined an item.h. Is that how that worked? I've got a tracker. We can just do using, I think, unless we need some argument. At least that's being done here. I think I had some remark in my documentation. Yeah, the argument must be a node const reference which is passed to the ObjectTracker base class. Is that correct? Is the question. No, it's not. It's not even correct. We are definitely being called with a batch as well. So yeah, missing batch here. I have the batch here. So this way it is correct. It's doing exactly what the documentation says, except that the documentation doesn't say this. But it's a node reference that is passed to the base class. It's good enough for me. Let's fix that documentation. What the hell? Good. And I wanted to get rid of this one as well. I was first getting rid of item template, I think. Item tracker. So do the other one as well. So this one no longer needs item tracker here, which doesn't exist anymore. And then same thing here. And then we have item tracker there, and an item tracker there, and we have to rewrite everything. So now I can copy it from node tracker. Node tracker, oh, there it is. Yeah, so we must derive from that ish. And then, oh, I don't need that anymore. And this must be a graph, of course. graph and look node graph. Okay, so no more item tracker. I'm going to do a make unknown type name node tracker. Oh yeah, right there. So tell him move my node tracker to here. Get rid of that file. I think that's the correct thing to do actually. Who is including node tracker.h? A lot of stuff. Why would I do that? I see that it includes node as well. So we move it into node, that's the same thing. This is different though. Then I would have to include graph. I would have to include more than just graph tracker. If I move graph tracker into graph, but maybe it should just work anyway. Yeah, there is no reason for this not to work. I mean, it's a .cxx, so I can include whatever I want. The only problem is the header, right? So this one is definitely problematic, especially since it is item.h itself. That's what I was working on. Apparently. Trying to fix a circular header dependency here. Yeah, nobody needs a node tracker or graph tracker here. It's just a template. It's not using it. I mean, okay, I'm accessing a tracker here, but why would I have to include it here? Come on. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. Still difficult stuff. Really difficult. I have no idea if this is going to work. No tracker. Think about it, just a forward declared node tracker will do here. So yeah, I don't have to include it. It's already forward declared as well. I don't think I need to include this here, but you can just get rid of all of this. region owner. Header includes memory region. Doesn't include anything. Okay. I didn't include an item.h. Needing. Oh, that is item.h. Yeah, I didn't say anything. Item.h defining this is not. I don't know. What to do? I was just going to move it here. So now there is only CXX files, so I'm going to remove the whole header, I think. No longer including that. Node should already be included in the header, label node.h, right? This thing belongs to locked node. Well, let's define a node. Node.h. And this is defined in graph.h then, right? Okay, so did I get rid of it now? Yep, made it. And my error was here. And I want to move node tracker.h to node.h. Yeah. Before I fix this, let me try to if my tests still work. Don't tell me I edited that much. No, I didn't. Wrong top, I guess. Let's try this one. Yep. Good, still works. And then I have here your implicit instantiation of undefined template threadsafe ObjectTracker. Okay. I just forgot ObjectTracker to include ObjectTracker in node.h now. Now also necessary. Ooh, I think I need a lot more headers. A lot more headers here. Includes, well, this of course. I'm just going to vi test.cxx node.h. And these 3. No type name, node pointer namespace, cppgraphviz dot. Node pointer also needs to be included. That is dot node.h. And dot node.h. What? Dot. Doesn't exist. Dot node.h includes item.h, oops, and item pointer.h. So node.h includes dot item. This is dot item. Yeah, thank God. Thought it was item. Dot item and dot item pointer. Okay. Oops. Oh. Uh-oh. Yes, that's what I thought. It's kind of strange this. Why did I, during my test, not run into this? The first template parameter of unlocked tracked object must already be complete, but it isn't. And that means that locked node is not complete yet. At the moment we do this. This is a sanity check of the arguments of unlocked tracked object. What does that have to do with this? Oh, yeah. Instantiation of template class threadsafe unlocked tracked object. Yes. Requested here. Oh. Unlock tracked object. Nobody sees it, but okay. Object tracker is on base. Nothing, man. What is it talking about? What is this talking about? The first template parameter of unlocked tracked object must already be complete, but it isn't. Node is not complete. I want to see where it is doing that then. In instantiation of template class threadsafe unlocked tracked object. Requested here, and then nobody understands why that it has anything to do with unlocked tracked object. Is node an unlocked tracked object? Yeah, that's it. So that's that one comment in the documentation that says if you get that error, then you have to move all the constructors and destructors to the .cxx file. So we have to move this to the CXX file, and in the meantime I will want to update, I think, my comment. So it's specifically reversed to that one as well. Copy, Control T, jump to ObjectTracker, find the documentation, find the comment. If you run into the compile error incomplete locked node, oh, well, maybe. Hopefully that is correct then. So let's do this and then see if that indeed works. Node tracker was moved, right? So yeah, let's copy this, go here, put it somewhere. Node tracker constructor. Node tracker is a template, isn't it? It's not a template. Namespace is of course graphviz. No, just F8. Looks good to me. This one, okay. So move that to the .cxx. Hopefully that works. Well, the error changed. No template named item template. Yeah, I deleted that. There's no item template anymore. Why the hell is my log node derived from item template? Huh? What? I'm so not getting this. Okay, I logged A for the documentation. Logged 8 must be derived from tracked objects, like that. Use of undeclared identifier graph tracker. Yep, I have to declare that then. Graph tracker. Undeclared identifier threadsafe. Shocking. Okay, no, that's the other one then. And here we have also a complete messed up thing that's not following my new documentation. So I guess that graph is the next one then that we have to fix. Probably getting rid of graph tracker as well, the header. What the hell does class have to do with this? Or maybe it's a friend. I guess it's a friend of that blocked graph there. Okay, so yeah. You find an unlocked track graph protected by standard mutex. So apparently graph is a type def here. I could compare this with the definition of node or with the definition of A from the documentation. I'm gonna go for node, but I probably should first run mixctext again, just in case. So we have graph tracker followed forward declaration of graph tracker followed by forward declaration of logged node followed by type def of node. Same thing here. For declaration of, well, maybe I need both, and then log graph and then graph. And let's go back again to node and just copy it. Otherwise I can't compare it. Totally the same thing. Yep. Very good. And then we want to have a definition of graph tracker. Probably, yeah. So I don't know about this. I'm just gonna delete it and see what I miss afterwards. That's nonsense. I should be able to move all of this to the top. Should. Definitely should be able to do that. And then we do that and that and that and that. And then the graph tracker must be defined here. As per my new documentation. And then we define the locked graph. Which is still using item template for some reason. Really? I'm still using item template. I'm using item template all over the place. Shit. Oops. Well, let's try to ignore it for as long as we can. No. Does nothing exist? I'm so confused now. Totally green and everything. I didn't delete item template. Item template is still there, man. What are you talking about? I must have deleted something else. Okay, so no problem with the item template. Then what? Let me compare it with the node anyway. This is graph.h, so we'll compare it with node.h. Because that one already finished. So I want to define graph tracker, and then we do this one, which is it becomes locked graph must be derived from threadsafe tracked objects. That's an item template. I don't think I want that. Graph tracker, and then just that one. Oops, next. Good. Except, of course, that we don't want to include this graph tracker here. That must be defined at the dot. I need my graph tracker right there, which is defined like that. Still scary, but let's just do it. It worked for the node, I think. Well, I still don't know for sure. But delete. Next, better like that. Also final. To node tracker is like lots of comments, and then node tracker final threadsafe object tracker. Threadsafe object tracker graph locked graph item policy node lock node item policy, and then the content. We could not have a constructor. So this must be moved to the .cxx now, probably, otherwise it won't compile anymore. 2yy. Yeah, well, that's good enough. Oops. Let's put it somewhere as well. Graph tracker constructor. Oh, that should work. Sort of missing headers. I don't know who's including this. Graph tracker.h. Loads of people think they need graph tracker.h, but they don't. All .cxx files, so I'm just going to kill all of them. This whole file there's no reason to exist. Git remove, very forceful, but not recursive. Now that graph tracker comes from graph.h now, so that should work. Array wants to join in here as well, so let's make that also a graph.h. And node.cxx. Graph tracker. Do we need a graph tracker here at all? Yep, we do. Although, yeah, we do. And last one, graph.cxx. Well, that needs to include graph, but no longer graph tracker. I feel a bit like I used to feel in the past, you know. Not stupid. I'm just fixing this. Like yesterday, it still looked like an almost impossible thing to do, and now I feel like, yeah, well, it's easy. I don't know why. What did I eat? Maybe it's just something in my food that I was missing. Also, I have such a really bad memory, and then someone told me, you know, take this pill, and it wasn't ecstasy. It was some vitamin, high dose vitamin or something. And that same evening, I was laying in bed, and I could just remember my childhood. Really, things that I was not able to remember at all before that. So I was like, what? What was in that pill again? I forgot that. Then I called them and I asked, and they had forgotten it either. So now I don't know what I did eat. Otherwise I could repeat the experiment. I think it was vitamin B, but I have no clue. Yeah, could have been coincidence, or maybe I did eat something else that same day. I believe someone once told me that they had a similar issue with their memory, and they figured out that it was a shortage of iron. So he was taking an iron supplement, and suddenly his memory became better. But I don't know. Yeah, probably I just have to experiment with it. And I'm a bit too lazy. It's unbelievable, of course, because it seems pretty important if it really works. Okay, but I did forget why I opened this file. Because of that. Implicit instantiation of undefined template. ObjectTracker. Well, it's a base class, so yes, it's being instantiated. I did not include ObjectTracker. I was just missing headers. The missing headers. Can I also copy that from node.h? Where's my node.h? Graph.h. These three are necessary. Next, put them here. Why do I have an item.h? Don't have that here. Why do I have an item.h? Item locking policy, is that the reason? Item.item, that's .item. It's not item.h. I don't know why I have item.h here. I'm going to delete it. I think actually that it should be .item, because I definitely don't need the .item. Let's try this one. And if that belongs here, that should be go at the top. Make. Only virtual member functions can be marked override. Yeah, so what's your problem exactly here? No type name graph pointer namespace. You got the missing header, I suppose. Dot graph pointer is obviously defined in dot graph. We have a dot item, but we also need a dot graph here, or maybe only need a dot graph, because maybe dot graph is including dot item. We'll never know. Not like this. Make c tags, or just open it. Dot graph.h. Not including item, but it is including node, and I bet node is including. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I'm an idiot as usual. That's good enough. Oops. Make. The virtual function. Strange. Apparently my change here was not correct. I changed this base class. I'm lost on virtual function in the process. I can, yeah, no. There's my bad memory. My bad memory is back, or maybe I just had a feeling that it was okay, but no. Cannot remember what the base class was. I just removed it. I didn't pay attention though. I think we can see what the base class was. item template. Made a few changes, not that many, but a lot actually. Where's initialize defined? Are we talking about graph.h here? We are talking about graph.h. Now where is initialize defined then? My initialize is defined in multi-loop. Yeah, I don't think so. Ultra hash. It's not the way to find it. I didn't get this problem with node, did I? So we go here, jump to node.cxx. Oh, that's a lock node. Very confusing. This is locked graph, yes. Locked graph initialize, locked graph initialize, locked node initialize. Locked node is derived from threadsafe tracked objects. Guess it comes from node then. Node is unlocked tracked objects, which uses unlocked and so on. So lock node itself. And what? No, that's no node. I mean, sorry. Node. Yeah, this like circular like crazy. I don't know where my initialize is defined. The virtual void initialize. It's defined in item.h. Item. Okay, so who's deriving from item? Public item, maybe. Graph item templates. That's what we're missing. Do you think that something was derived from item template and I replaced it with tracked object? And now we're missing the item. That's the reason. To item templates. So I did a git diff. Graph.h. Totally item templates. Maybe I should change it back to item template because it still exists. I know. I was thinking that maybe it still exists. It does still exist. Yeah, I cannot just remove item templates. An item template takes now suddenly two template arguments, the track type and the tracker. That's just like tracked object does. Oh, I thought my node is also doing that now. I must get the same error of a node. I think I got very confused about item template and some other class that I did delete. So we're talking about graph. And that should have been derived from item template. I just should not have done this. I think that's the problem. Item template is in namespace cppgraphviz, just like this. Dot item no. Item template, it does not know what item template is. That's why I removed it. Too many template arguments for class. Struct dot what? I think it's like giving the wrong suggestion. It feels like a ChatGPT 4. This. It can't find this, so it suggests, oh, that you mean dot item pointer template, like as if I would forget 8 characters. And then it goes on giving an error for what? Maybe that's a hint that you guessed wrong, okay? Don't give me errors for things that don't exist, because you assume too much. Stupid compiler. Item template is missing. I just have to include item.h. Of course I have to include item.h. It's a super important header. Yep, and then we get the exact same thing for node as I hoped, because otherwise I would not have gotten it. Because I made the same mistake here. This must be item template. Which in turn means that we need item.h, which for some reason I also don't have here. Error, no member name set is initialized. In ObjectTracker. Really? Set is initialized. It's defined in ObjectTracker. So yeah, well, maybe my trackers know ObjectTracker. What is it? This is so bad. That it does not tell me what the type of tracker is really, really, really unacceptably bad. Oh, it does tell me. Never mind. ObjectTracker does not have that. Well, okay, it says, yeah, it does tell me. Never mind. Forget what I said. No member names set is initialized in utils ObjectTracker. Okay. And then I look for it, and it is defined in ObjectTracker. Interesting. So it doesn't exist, but it does exist. Oh, I see the problem here. Utils. And this is threadsafe. Yeah, I just have to get rid of utils, I guess, at some point or another. Maybe this is the right place or the right moment. I'm still using utils ObjectTracker. For the one last thing. Oh boy, I don't want to do that right away. I want to see all my tests succeed before I make a memory owner. I guess I'm just gonna do something like this. vi that, and then test for that. Tracker, so if const expression standard is same v tracker comma that type, then don't do it. So more like only do it when that's not the case. Then add a fix me, of course. Fix me. Remove this once we are no longer using utils. Object tracker for memory region owner. No member typed, no member named memory region owner, really? Yeah, it's kind of a nasty way to test that. Okay, fuck this. We have a better solution. It's not a direct or virtual base class of cppgraphviz log node. No, that's correct. I forgot to change that one. After changing the base class. I was just going to say if we're getting there, but we're not. Well, not yet, but we are getting there, I think. And at that moment, of course, I do get a very big, long 2-page error. No matching constructor for initialization of locked graph. In instantiation of function template specialization requested here. Candy constructor not viable. No non-conversion from character pointer to standard weak pointer. Where do I get my character pointer from? From here. Yeah, a moment ago I thought it was all easy. It's steadily starting to fade away again. Maybe you should go eat dinner. I think this is the one that I should use. Memory region, comma, weak pointer to the root graph, comma, what? No, we don't have a what here. Yeah, we do have a what. I don't know what's talking about there, but this is the memory region, and then we get the root graph, and then we get the what. Two, definitely, this should be the one. Can the constructor not viable? It requires 3 arguments, but 2 were provided. See, that's where I don't see it. It's like the what is missing. So what is not being passed or something. Can the constructor not viable? It requires 3 arguments, but 2 were provided. If 2 are provided, we don't have any constructor that takes a memory region. But initiation of function template specialization here. Count 1 argument, 2 arguments, 3 arguments. But that's graph. So locked graph gets only 2 of them. Oh, I think I have to have a look here. Graph. 3 things are being passed. 3 things are being passed to an unlocked tracked object. I guess we're using this one, so it's going to be passed to unlocked. all arguments are passed to the derived class. If we use this one anyway. Would have been nice if it told me. But what else can it be using? I mean, it's starting with a character pointer. There's absolutely nothing else than an args. It's not that. Definitely this one. Definitely this one. So then all the 3 arguments should be passed on. Excuse me, but that's what it's doing here. How can we lose 1 argument? How is that possible? See, there's unsigned law. Oh, wait a minute. And it converted my memory region to something. Okay, yeah, that's definitely incorrect. So apparently it's trying to construct an unlocked from what I want to be a memory region. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe it's using this one. So it prefers this one. Over this one. Does that make any sense? Not is base of unlocked. It's not. Oh, right. Yeah. We don't know what it is. Can I do an explicit here? What happens if I put explicit in front of it? I'm going to try that. Explicit. I don't know what the influence of explicit is on the arguments or the args. Shouldn't do anything, I think. So automatically it's by definition explicit, I would almost say. So now it should not want to convert my initializer list to this R value reference. Crazy. I wanted to call unlocked. No matching member function called to set tracked unlocked. It just worked, right? Yeah, this probably were too much guessing. Yeah, that's, I don't even have to think about it. Just have to tell it what the batch is. Utils batch tracked object. Now matching constructor for initialization of locked graph. And it's doing exactly the same thing. So the explicit did not help one bit. How the hell is that possible? And it also doesn't tell me what it did then, but maybe I'm using maybe I'm using an unlocked then still, and I have to add an explicit there as well. I don't know. Maybe. Graph unlocked. I don't believe it will use the explicit ones now, so it's using unlocked. And then maybe it's not using this one, but maybe it is using this one. Explicit. Bet I have another one like that. Yeah, this one. Might as well use explicit everywhere then. Everywhere will have an args anyway. There's only two places. I don't need an explicit here, of course, assuming that those args are, well, per definition, explicit. Oh, right. Still doing the same thing. What the F? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I really wish I knew which constructors it was calling. Instead of saying, well, we can't do this. Tell me why. Oh, it is using this one. What? No. It's telling me. It's telling me that it's using this one. It's not possible. That is absolutely not possible. Oh, it has to go through the... Oh, wait a minute. It has to go through this. Yeah, okay. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot as usual. Yeah, I try to avoid it, but you just every time you try to pass an initialize list like this through a template arguments thing, it has no way to know what you want. If it would pass it directly to T, it's not a problem, because T just accepts a memory region as first argument, and then it says, oh, I need a memory region, and I have an initializer list. Let's create a memory region. But this thing is in between, so that one would not be a problem. But it's trying to match it against that, and then it thinks, oh, I need some type, an argument, but I have an initializer list. Well, still, why is my argument not just an initializer list? For some, I still have no idea why it converts or tries to convert it to an unlocked. Okay, anyway, I'm getting sick of this, so I'm just going to tell it that I want a memory region there, of course. Should have done that immediately. Memory region. Yeah, that's the thing that the graph is taking, or what is it? The locked graph. We have a locked graph. And that is taking a memory region, yep, like a first argument. So we just tell it that that's what we have here, and then it's going to work. There's not a memory region for you. Holy many errors. No matching constructor for initialization of cppgraphviz graph, aka unlock tracked object. Maybe that's why I did this difficult, because it, even if I tell it what I wanted, it's still not matching. Candidate inherit what? Candidate inherited constructor not viable, no known conversion from cppgraphviz class C to threadsafe unlocked graphviz locked graph blah 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 blah. Second argument. Yeah, okay, so that one is not what I want. What is an unlocked? So why is it talking about unlocked? Yeah, okay, just skip it. And then the next one is absolutely not what I want. And then the next one is also not what I want. And then the next one is also not what I want. And then the next one's also not what I want. And then the next one is also not what I want. And I don't want that one, but I do want this one. This is the one that I want. Just fucking pass it on. Candidate template ignored. Constraint not satisfied. With arguments is memory region, conslip, and presenting base view. Oh, what? Because not standard is base off. Evaluated to false. What? I haven't the faintest idea what. Looks like the arguments are swapped. How can the first argument be a base class of the second one? Should definitely be the other way around. And it is base of. Now we have an is base of already. Well, almost. Is base of, base derived. Don't tell me that we are supposed to be derived from class. Yeah, no way. Unlocked should be derived from class. Well, actually, maybe, I don't know. No, it's not. Unlocked is derived from log graph. This unlocked is derived from log graph. Yeah, maybe this is a special case that only holds for class. And we're not talking about a class, or it's, I don't know. So confused. Let's look at that. Oh, wait a minute. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. It doesn't want it to be. Well, then it means that it is. Oh, right. Is base unlocked is a base of that argument. Yes, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, well, okay, so maybe you should only test that for the first argument. Oh, okay. Rip the fly. Difficult. What shall we do, people? I mean, let's say that we have multiple arguments, and we do, and the first one is not an unlocked. and reject this. Now what's gonna happen? Well, then this one will never match because we haven't unlocked. Plus I would reject it anyway because of the second one. And this is not going to match because the first one is unlocked. And this one's not going to match because the first one is unlocked. And this one is not going to match because the first one is unlocked. And this one is not going to match because the first one is unlocked. So we can reject all I want, but that just means that it won't compile. And in this case, I wanted to compile. So that doesn't make any sense. Let's just accept unlocked arguments as long as they are not the first argument. So requires that the first argument is not a base. Sorry. Unlocked is not the base of the first argument. Which means that we don't have dots anymore because we're just doing this for the first argument. And then I'm going to do the number of arguments equals 0. Wait, do you want to pass that? Or another number of arguments is unequal 0. And then we demand that unlocked is not a base class of the decay of the first argument. Well, it calls it finally. Yeah, but it says, oops, it's private, so you cannot call it. Locked graph, for some reason, got a private constructor. Declared private here. Does it look like a nonsense? Ooh, okay, but the class should be able to call it. Yeah, I'm passing a class. I mean, it is a class, but this is no longer sufficient. What? trying to understand why this used to be a class and now it isn't unlocked, I think. We're trying to call it from here, which is from unlocked. Even though the second argument is a class. Yeah, I think I don't understand it. I would say I can make unlocked friend. Not clear at all. Must be a friend, and this unlocked. I want this unlocked to be a friend of locked graph. Unlocked tracked object was included, which is derived from unlocked, so we know what unlocked is. I can just add it as a friend. I don't know. Is it graph now suddenly? Who do I have to friend to get this to compile? Okay, let's try adding graph as well. Graph, my god, what a or I guess this object, right? It's literally a friend of everyone. Well, that would be unlocked tracked object then. Why is it even talking about graph then? What? There is no graph. Okay, show me again. What does it say here? Locked graph is a private constructor in instantiation of function template specialization unlocked requested here. Yeah, I need to find out where we are. It's apparently not graph. Cannot be graph. That is class. That is class. So now it's pointing to this thing. And class should be a friend and is a friend. Class is totally a friend. So why can we not do that here? Why is it complaining about this? Template T graphviz. I'm going to add this one as well. Just because that is a class. I don't get it. Nope, no getting it. Compile bug. Let's try a different compiler. Nope, not a compiler bug. in instantiation of unlocked stuff with arguments is memory region and class cons reference and basic string view, and T is locked graph, policy mutex is that. I like this compiler error. I think I should keep using this compiler. Way better errors. Required from cppgraphviz class T class. Your T is C, string view is basic string view. Yeah. And required from here. Word cppgraph is locked graph, is private in this context. Declared private here. It's private in this context. That's unlocked. Did I not add unlocked as a friend yet? Of course I did. Monstrous. Annoying. Now we're talking. just fucking taking the wrong unlocked. But really. Really. Wrong header. Nobody gets this anyway. I don't need that one. That will still compile. I don't think I need class at all, right? Just remove it. No class needed. And then the big question is, why do I have to add a scope here? Then which unlocked would it take otherwise? That's, come on, how many unlocked do I have? Don't do that. Make ctags. Go there. Jump to unlocked. That's the only unlock that I have in threadsafe. Totally. That's only one unlock that I have. And it is inside namespace threadsafe. But apparently it got confused and it was thinking that I meant something else. I can be that the friend itself just makes one up. Oh. This is inside threadsafe for declaration. T policy mutex, yep. And I was assuming that the friend worked because I was including this clause. No, I'm not. Not that one. I didn't include that. That's the reason. Yeah, again, I guess I can add the scope then at the place of the friend, and no need to include the whole header just to get the friend working without the scope. Let's see what I'm looking for here. It's 202 something. Nope. I guess that one. Or not. Well, I want to test my theory, then at least I understand it. So if we include that header, I don't think I was then I don't think I need to add this scope. Nope. Do need scope at all times, apparently. Well, that's beyond me. Threadsafe unlocked then. Let's not put more time into this. Poo poo. Okay, it compiles. Those amazing, right? To actually got this to compile. Let's run all the tests. See if they work. Nope. Everything works except this one, the last one. Okay, why am I crashing here? Let's run it in the debugger. Class members tests. Not initialized. Oh, cool, but it's also saying this is 0. That's probably the real reason here. Up. I guess parent graph tracker returns a null. Oh. Totally null. We don't have a parent graph tracker. I don't even have a root graph tracker. It's pretty bad. And what is my current this pointer? Look at this pointer. It looks sane-ish. Do we have a what so I know what we're talking about here? We do have a tracker. So I suppose I should be able to get information about what this is. Actually, you have a what? Optimized out. Yeah, sure. Not that I'm compiling with optimization, but GDB, you know, GTP4, GDB, they can't find it, so it must be optimized out. It's never a bug. Actually, we left its scope already. Maybe I should put a breakpoint here. Tracker set what? Do I have a tracker on? Tracker set what, man? I should be able to find what that is then. Get. Yeah, a little nice and dandy, but I need my base here. This is just stuff. How can I get that? Where is that part of? That is so unclear. I'm going to try Embase. No member Embase. Yep. Maybe that. Encouraging, Embase. We have an Embase. Now I can print it. Totally empty, empty. Nobody knows what this is. Okay, let's go up in the stack, see if we understand what's going on here. Unlocked is created, notice created. Please have a label here. Oh, we don't. Here's my what. It's a copy of AS0. I think it's time for me to stop. How late is it? Yeah, well, my computer tells me that I have to do something. Plus I have to eat. Plus I have not that many viewers. But the viewers that I have, guys, thank you for keeping me company. Maybe I'm back later, I'm not sure yet. Probably not, actually. Well, maybe, I don't know.